Tonight on News 5 Live, GOB issues a long-awaited press release. But is the public transportation headache truly over? A security guard is ambushed and shot in Orange Walk town. And the NTUCB says, run the people their increment now. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digi store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
On March 5th in Belize City, the 94th edition of the Baron Bliss Harbor Regatta takes place off Seashore Drive in the Buttonwood Bay area of Belize City. Come out at 9 a.m. and witness as 6 sailing clubs battle head-to-head for the coveted title of champions and thousands of dollars in cash and prizes. It's a showdown that you won't want to miss, as the spectacular 16 sailing dories from Gales Point, Malantee is back. Come on out and tailgate along the shore or find that perfect spot to barbecue and imbibe while enjoying the sights and sounds of the Baron Bliss Harbor Regatta. Sunday, March 5th at 9 a.m. Sponsors are the Bliss Trust, Honorable Anthony Mahler and the BTB, Mahias United, Honorable Dolores Valderramas Garcia, Bowen & Bowen, and Mr. Wally Brown. Special thanks to the Belize Coast Guard, the Belize Ports Authority, and the Belize City Council.
Come dock up at San Pedro on February 25th for the first ever banquet boat show. Deals, drinks, prizes, and of course, Honda.
Then I'll be right there. To make her come check you, my baby. No time, no. And my dog is on probation. Another 5 years. And bring girls to his location. No time, no. Send me the location. This year about vacations. Flight catching.
Banquet. We represent quality.
newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, February 24th. I am Annalyn Apolonio. The long-awaited press release that the Belize Bus Association had demanded the Ministry of Transport issue on Wednesday is out. But the BBA says that the release contains a few points that they never agreed to. BBA President Thomas Shaw had told the media on Wednesday that following their meeting with transport officials, the BBA demanded that the ministry circulate a press release that reflected the points on which they came to an agreement during the meeting to address concerns in the transformation process of the bus industry. The demand was also that the release be issued that same day. But it took the ministry 2 days to come up with the release, and in that time, the BBA was already exploring what course of action it would take as a sign of protest. They sought a meeting with the executive of the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, which currently has its own battle with the government. While Shaw did not want to discuss their concerns specifically, he did say that they now have to go back to their membership to discuss those concerns. News 5's Marion Ali reports.
The press release that the Ministry of Transport came up with around midday today should have closed the deal between the ministry and the Belize Bus Association on how they move forward with the transformation of the bus industry. But the association has found discrepancies in portions of the release, and the document was never made public, at least not yet.
When I went through it carefully, I noticed that there were certain things in there that we were not in agreement with. So that's the reason why, as I said, I told them that I would have to go back to my membership and let us discuss that. Well, there's certain points in there in terms of the amalgamation, and because it's something we discussed, but we didn't have this discussion with our members in the north. We were just saying we were going to do a pilot in the west, and we couldn't just throw that down their throat because we don't know if all operators are in the position to go in that direction as yet. So we are calling an emergency meeting on Sunday with our membership. And once we get that sorted out, then the press release will be going out on Monday.
President of the BBA, Thomas Shaw, said that the association had conducted consultations with its members, but it appears that not everyone, particularly the bus operators in the north, understood the finer details of the merging process with bigger companies that would result in only 2 companies for the northern route.
This has to be an educational process because most of what were mentioned in that meeting, some of the operators were not privy to that information. When you talk about the north, due to the amount of operators, we don't really know how that would actually work in the north. We have been doing our rounds, but you still have operators out there that some of them didn't come to the consultation, they didn't attend the meeting. And I think it's just fair before we put it out there that we have all got to be in agreement with it. Yes, we as executive, we went in there, agreed on certain things in principle, but we are actually here the representative of the people, and we have got to do what the people tell us to do.
Minister of Transport, Rodwell Ferguson, says there's no other way to solve the problem of speeding and fierce competition except to merge the companies.
In Corozal and Orange Rock itself, how about 51 bus operators? That's traveling between Corozal to Belize City and neighboring villages. That, in my mind, is not conducive for any development because maybe one person have one bus going from Corozal to Belize City. When there's a breakdown, there is no replacement. So the commuters are the ones who suffer that cars. And so I convinced the operators, or the BBA, the best solution is to have 2 bus companies in every region. And then we will go to merge. I'm sorry, who can hold on pan, I have to go up on the wayside. So if you don't want merge, then it's up to you.
Meanwhile, President of the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, Luke Martinez, briefed us on what the nature of the meeting was on Thursday night with the BBA executive.
We met to see how we could pool our resources in terms of the things that we have in common, and there's a lot that we have in common. One of the biggest thing that we have in common is that we all serve the public, right? We all serve the public, and so they are fighting for the betterment of their membership, and we're also fighting for the betterment of our membership. And collectively, we're all pushing for nation building and for it to be done in a positive manner. So we met to establish our common grounds and to commit to uniting on all issues, not just the issues that are in front of us.
For now, Shaw says that the BBA is not planning any strike action against the government since the release has been shared with them.
We call it off due to the fact that they're cooperating with us. And on Monday, we go from there. So there will be no action over the course of this weekend. Because, as I said, we are the ones who actually told them to hold off.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
April 1st is the deadline imposed by the unions for the return of annual increments to teachers and public officers. But is it likely that the Briceño administration will acquiesce and set aside roughly $20 million to further adjust salaries for persons who qualify for increments? Earlier this week, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize issued a release not only to reiterate the points raised by the joint union's negotiating team, but to stand in solidarity with its sister organization. Luke Martinez, president of the NTUCB, spoke with reporters this afternoon and shared the following.
The National Trade Union Congress, we continue to push our full support behind the joint unions in the request for the increment restoration by this fiscal year, which is 2023-2024. We believe that that is something that needs to happen, and it should happen. We keep on hearing the Prime Minister and some of his team talking about how good the economy has been performing, and GDP is up there, and the economy is rebounding. It can't be that the economy is rebounding and you're not finding the funds to ensure that you pay the people who are working hard, who are the public officers. And the Prime Minister and his team need to understand that the increments that we're talking about are performance-based increments, meaning that public sector workers, teachers, police, BDF, nurses, you name them as they fall into that category, they are appraised yearly, and you receive an increment based on your appraisal. So it's a performance-based tool. So we are saying that if the economy has rebounded, the increment is less than half of 1% of GDP. In dollars, that is about $18 to $20 million. The government has that funding. The government has that money to restore public officers' increment. And so we continue to stand behind the joint unions in that support. And we've been saying over and over that the government should, as a matter of fact, when they restored the 10%, they should have restored the increment.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister John Briceño, in speaking with News 5, also broached the issue of pension reform, which goes in tandem with increments for teachers and public officers. According to Martinez, government's intent to introduce pension reform by April 1st is unrealistic considering the necessary research, consultations, and work that need to be done ahead of its implementation.
We also, in our press release, we're paying keen attention to the government continuing to talk about pension reform, and them and the joint unions maybe preparing to get into discussions about pension reform. But what is concerning to us is that You hear people from the government side, ministers from the government continue to talk about trying to push for this pension reform as of April 1st. That is 6 weeks from now. And we're saying in our press release that that cannot be done. The analysis, the technical analysis and the research and the consultation, you have to allow, the government has to allow for the collective bargaining process to prevail. You can't jump out and say that this is something that we want to do April. It doesn't work like that. We want our increments, of course, from day one, we wanted the increments to be restored today. Right? Remember now that while the Minister of Education mentioned to you that they are prepared to restore the increment April 1st, when you listen to the Prime Minister said that, oh, they're not sacrificed yet. And our sacrifice. And we don't tell we may restore that next year. So, no man, you can't have multiple stories coming out of one room. Like either it has to be that you're in a position right now to restore the increments.
All right.
So on that, and I don't want you to cut this out, right? Run the people the increment now.
Coming up, security guard clings to life following shooting in Orange Walk. Find out the details when we come back.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says that Barnabas and Paul were men that hazarded their lives, or literally risked their lives, for the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Today in the church, we have too many professors and not enough possessors. Too many who talk the talk, but who do not walk the walk. Too many who have been whitewashed, but not washed white. Too many who want a kind of alimony from God without any allegiance to God. Too many who are willing to take, but not willing to give. Too many spiritual profiteers who are willing to serve God as long as it does not cost them anything. We need more people with the attitude of David, who said he would not offer to God that which cost him nothing. Paul and Barnabas were some of the first missionaries the church sent out, but it was not without a price or a sacrifice. They hazarded their life for the name of Jesus and sharing the gospel. During the Iraqi war in the spring of 2003, I read the story of Chris Carter, who saw an Iraqi woman on a bridge who was about to be killed. Without thought of personal safety, he left his Bradley fighting vehicle and dashed onto the bridge to bring the Iraqi woman to safety and stand guard over her with his M16A4 rifle as she was placed into an ambulance by medics to be given medical attention. God give us risk takers in the church with equal passion to share the gospel with a world on the very brink of destruction. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
You know the saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. What do you do when you get to a dead end? Sometimes life just doesn't go the way we planned it to go. And when you're in those seasons of life, what do? Where do you go? Who do you turn to? Join Sagebrush Church as we begin our series, Dead End Desperation, where we'll talk about following God in some of the hardest moments of our lives. Be sure to visit sagebrush.church or download the Sagebrush app for locations, service times, and more.
We built this city. Between the Benny's Hurricanes and the Belize City Defenders, they boast a total of 2 BEBL championships. Benny's Belize Hurricanes have 2, and Belize City Defenders a big duck egg. Now, if my math is correct, this is the Benny's Belize Hurricane City.
Let's go. All around.
This is the game that the entire commercial capital Belize City has been waiting for. The Clash of the Titans. On Friday, February 24 at the Belize Civic Center. It's your beloved and city favorite, Benny's Belize Hurricanes, going up against their arch rival, Belize City Defenders. The outside breeder. This game is more than basketball because
them not like me, I mean I like them. Them are me enemy, me and them no friend.
It will be a battle to the end, and the Ben's Belize Hurricanes have surpassed all tests. We all know what they can do. The question is, what can the Belize City defenders do?
Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender.
Halftime show will feature the young and energetic T.Y. dropping his hit song. Also, how about the half-court shot to win a brand new Honda cycle from Benny's? Remember to sign up for the Serena Bay Villas First 5 $4,000 contest. Primary schoolers and high schoolers, bring out your posters and compete for the $500 prize. Lots of phone and tablet giveaways, courtesy of Smart and Cellular World.
Hurricanes are one big family.
Remember this Friday night at the Belize Civic Center, Benny's Belize Hurricanes versus Belize City Defenders. Gates open at 7, tip-off time is 9.
Belize Hurricanes come to take it to the rim.
The after party will be at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Family, Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big family.
Westrack Limited is committed to working hard every day to ensure you get the right products at the most affordable price. We strive to have the greatest selection of quality, affordable, and timely products and services that will enhance your personal or corporate lives. With an extensive line of products, we'll be sure to have what you need. For even faster service, you can contact us on Facebook, WhatsApp, or by email. We look forward to seeing you come through our doors at your nearest Westrack branch today.
There are 3 categories to choose from: budget, economy, island lux. Try our services today and earn loyalty points on each ride to get cashback deals on your next ride, or sign up to be a Madriva driver. Just be sure to have your police record on hand. Transportation services at your fingertips. Download the app today. Madriva, opening doors to new opportunities.
An Orange Walk resident is tonight clinging to life at the Northern Medical Specialist Plaza after he was shot multiple times this morning just outside of his house on Quayo Street in that northern municipality. Even as he was shot, Bradford Hall got into his pickup truck along with his son, but lost control of the vehicle several yards down the road and crashed head-on into an SUV. Hall was rushed to the medical facility for what we are told were injuries to his neck and chest. News 5's Dwayne Moody was in Orange Walk today and files this report.
Residents say 52-year-old security guard Bradford Hall lives here on Quayle Street in Orange Walk town for a little over a year. This morning, as he reportedly exited his fenced property, a gunman opened fire on him. Residents say as many as 7 shots were fired before the gunman jumped into a silver sports utility vehicle that sped away from the area. That SUV, we are told, was parked in an overgrown lot across from the house where the gunman waylaid his victim.
Something went wrong somewhere, and especially in Orange Walk, we are not expecting these kind of things to be happening. Orange Walk is one of the most calmest town. Orange Walk is the most fun town. Everybody comes to Orange Walk to relax and chill. So when we hear these kind of things happening, it raises an alarm that we must pay attention to what's going on. And I need to get a report from the police officer of exactly what really transpired.
Hall is employed by the company that provides security services to the town hall and was at times stationed there. So Mayor Ladrick Shepherd says he knows the victim well.
I know the gentleman very good. He was employed, but under a company, I don't know which company, at the Orange Town Hall. He worked there for quite a while now. But I haven't seen him work. I've seen other guys going over there. But this is a cool gentleman. He's very involved in sports and basketball. He was talking about me to putting an over 35 team or a 40 team to represent Orange Walk in Belize City.
News 5 has not been able to confirm if Hall was shot in the presence of his son, but residents say that even as Hall was shot multiple times, he managed to get into his Nissan pickup truck along with his minor son and drove up Quayle Street. He was bleeding profusely, and it is believed that in that process he lost consciousness and slammed head-on into an SUV. Hall was rushed to the Northern Medical Specialist Plaza, where he is currently in a critical condition. Mayor Shepherd says that the neighborhood is a quiet residential community.
We have the police officers on their game plan, making sure that they go around, making sure that the residents are safe, and especially in a range where they know when they come here, everything is cool. So that's what I want to say to them. Just be careful. You don't know who is out there, and I'm surely I'm going to work with the police officers to have more people going around, have more officers going around to check on what is happening in a range rock.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
An investigation into the male teacher from Canaan SDA High School who stands accused of predatory behavior against one of his female students is near completion. The Ministry of Education and the high school have been repeatedly accused of not moving swift enough in taking action against the teacher. Well, the result of that investigation will determine what will become of the allegations as well as the teacher's career in education. Francis Fonseca, the Minister of Education, gave us an update on the investigation when we caught up with him this morning.
The teacher is no longer in the classroom. As you said, they're tomorrow or today will be the last day for some final reporting on the matter. So the ministry has been engaged. The Ministry of Education has been fully engaged in the effort. The chief and the CEO have met more than once with all the parties involved in this matter. So it's a very, very serious matter. We're taking it very seriously. And as soon as we get the final reports, then a determination will be made. But certainly, as I have said consistently, there is zero tolerance for that kind of behavior. There has to be zero tolerance for that type of behavior in our educational system. And so at the end, when we receive the final report, decisions will be made.
Sir, but I understand that there is zero tolerance, but is there a fraternity, both in the unions and in the church managements, that protect predators and simply seek to focus on process?
Yeah, I think unfortunately that has been, in some respects, the past track record. I can say to you that in my discussions with both the church management and the unions, the BNTU, they have made it emphatically clear that their position is that they too have zero tolerance for that kind of behavior, that they will not in any way, shape or form provide protection or shield any teacher who is accused of that type of behavior.
Cabinet met on Thursday for a special meeting to discuss the 2023-2024 budget. A major point of discussion has been the joint unions' demand to have their increments unfrozen by April 1st. Now, the Briceño administration has committed to unfreeze those increments during the upcoming fiscal year. But the question still remains, will it be done by the end of March? Here is what Minister Fonseca told us.
As you know, I think all of you know, we have a follow-up meeting with the unions on March 2nd. I believe it's March 2nd. Yeah, next week, Thursday. So we have taken their points of concern back to the cabinet. We had a discussion about it yesterday, and we had a special cabinet meeting to discuss the budget. And as a part of that discussion, we discussed these issues. We'll have another cabinet meeting on Tuesday where we'll have some follow-up discussions and make some decisions on these matters, so that when we go back to the table with the joint unions next week, Thursday, I think we'll be in a position to say to them very clearly where we stand and hear from them. We have always said in terms of pension reform that is not something overnight that we will solve. But we certainly want to start the discussion and have in place some framework for moving forward on that very, very important issue. We can't continue down that road. It's absolutely unsustainable. Everyone knows that. So that issue, the issue of increments, is critically important. We have already stated on the record that we are going to unfreeze increments during this fiscal year. It's just a question of when we can do that in terms of the financial situation. The unions obviously want it done on April 1st. So that has been the discussion.
We also heard from the Minister of Education on the Inter-American Development Bank's tour of the construction site of the ITSAT STEAM Academy in Belize City. The tour was held on Wednesday, led by Prime Minister John Briceño and the Minister Fonseca.
Very exciting project, of course. You know, the future of education is technology, is arts, you know, engineering, the STEAM and STEM subjects. Critically important. Belize can't be left behind. So this is just the beginning in terms of these projects. Our hope and our plan and our discussions with the IDB is to expand this across the country and to build 6 of these academies across the country so that people, wherever they live in our country, our young people can have access to STEAM education.
Do you believe that STEAM, because that's where everything is at right now, especially IT, etc., that STEAM will be able to generate that critical mass to really usher in a new era of educational model in Belize?
Yeah, no, STEAM is critically important, but IT vet is absolutely important. We need to, and we have very, very comprehensive plans to invest in the IT vet sector. That's critically important. It's one of my greatest disappointments that the UDP government did not take technical vocational education training seriously. They did nothing, maybe because, you know, this whole nonsense of a PUP project, they did nothing to invest in them. So when I visited them, these IT vet facilities, we have 6 of these facilities across the country, including the CAIO set. You know, this was a significant investment made back in 2002, 2003, of close to $30 million. They did nothing to upgrade this very same equipment that we had bought on that initial project was there.
After the break, the 2023 National Primary School Volleyball Championships. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Welcome to Brody's Pharmacy,
where our trained and licensed pharmacists have been serving the public for over 100 years.
Thank you. Brody's Pharmacy has the widest selection of vitamins and supplements that I need.
It's our mission to supply all your prescription needs. We take pride in our fast, friendly, and professional prescription services.
I am amazed at how professional these pharmacists are.
We are agents of all leading brands such as Fitzroy, Johnson, Denk, Carlisle, Quality Choice, Sophia, Pfizer, Dynarex, and so much more.
They have the highest quality medication in the country.
We keep coming to Brody's Pharmacy because of the extra care and attention we always receive here.
Excuse me, sir, can I help you with that?
Thank you, young man. See where we shop at Brody's Pharmacy?
We have 3 convenient locations in Belmopan, Belize City, Albert Street, and 2.5 miles Philip Bolson Highway. We also offer wholesale services on all our medication. Come on over to Brody's Pharmacy for service, value, and satisfaction. Your health is our priority.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
The National Primary School Volleyball Championships were held today at the Orange Walk Multipurpose Complex, where 12 teams in male and female categories competed for bragging rights, medals, and trophies after a 3-year hiatus. While they are all district champions, only 1 female team and 1 male team will walk away with the title for 2023. But who will it be? News 5's Dwayne Moody was in Orange Walk today and stopped by to witness some of the matches. Here's his report.
It's back. The National Primary School Volleyball Championships have returned, and today the district champions converged in Orange Walk for the finals to determine the best teams countrywide in male and female categories. It's a culmination of weeks of competition.
There was a lull after COVID for practically 2 years, and now we restart back the primary school sports. So when volleyball is over, we're going to another sport. As a minister responsible, I told my team that we are here to work for the betterment of the country and the people. Belize have talented athletes, but because they are not properly trained and properly organized, when we go abroad, sometimes we do extremely bad. But if we can focus on them, we can see some complete change and some complete differences. If you notice, volleyball is going to our next level at the senior level. And if we can start from the junior to the senior, we can have the best volleyball team practically in the world.
National Sports Coordinator Kaya Katus breaks down the competition for the day.
At the Sports Council, we promote gender equality. So wherever there are male games playing, likewise it is happening in the female category. So what we have here today is 2 divisions, one each containing one North team, one Central team, and one South team. So the best 2 teams from these 2 divisions will advance to the semifinals. So we start with 6. At the semifinals we have 4, and then at the final we have, of course, 2, the 3rd place game and then championship game.
While there hasn't been a national primary school competition for the past 3 years, San Marcos RC School in Kaya District, former 3-time champions, wants to regain the title as national winners. Brando Quintanilla plays on the team and says that he and his teammates have been putting in the work.
I already represent 3 times and I already play 1 year long playing volleyball.
They're saying that you're one of the strongest players on the team. Talk to us about how you develop a skill. How long have you been playing?
Because I was having 3 fathers in national team and they teach me and I always practice with my teacher every evening, practice skills and all the things. And my brothers always teach me with a coach, practicing skills and everything.
Female junior athletes are competing just as hard as the males, and Iman Marin of Holy Redeemer School, representing the Belize district, says that they're planning to take the title this year.
It's been great because we have all worked together since like a good while, and now we're here. It's very exciting.
They're saying that you're one of the best female players, athletes, volleyball athletes. Let's talk about when you started to play and how you've grown over the years.
I have been starting since like last year in summer, and I've been good, doing every day, working hard.
Winners received individual medals, trophies for their schools, and bragging rights. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
In the female division, Holy Redeemer School are now the national champions. 2nd place went to Toledo Christian Academy and 3rd place to Santa Elena Primary from Cayo. In the male division, San Marcos RC from Cayo took 1st place, while Holy Redeemer School came in 2nd and Independence Primary rounded out the top 3. The most valuable player was identified as Brando Quintanilla from San Marcos RC. And while the National Volleyball Tournament is coming to an end, National Sports Coordinator Kaya Katu says that there are 4 other countrywide competitions that will be executed before the end of this school year.
Of course, this year we started with volleyball. We next move into track and field, and our nationals for that will be on March 10th. We then go into basketball, followed by softball, and we finish off the school season with football.
This is a countrywide initiative.
Countrywide initiative. And Sports Council is not necessarily in charge of high school sports. However, we are a big part in the high school cycling that will be going on for the entire month of March, every Thursday inside the Marian Jones Sporting Complex.
While we were with the National Sports Coordinator, we also asked about her preparation for the 2023 Female Cross Country Cycling Classic. The Belize City Councillor is also a professional cyclist with a U.S. team, LA Sweat. Kaya Katus last won the title in 2019 and says that while her training in the U.S. is not for these drawn-out races, she believes that she is in top shape 4 weeks ahead of the cross-country race.
So last year I wasn't at home for the cross-country, but this year I will be home. Hopefully I will be joined by some LA Sweat teammates. Last year we had Americans who came and dominated the race. Hopefully this year we can prevent that and we can keep the cross-country title at home.
Well, you've won it several times, so I guess you're coming back for the win to regain the title.
I think my last cross-country win was in 2019. 2020 was COVID. 2021 there was no race. 2022 I did not participate. So it's long overdue. It's a different type of feeling coming into cross-country season. I think I'm in excellent shape 4 weeks out. So come cross-country day, I will definitely be ready to defend. So the style of racing I do in the US and the style of racing that I do in Belize are completely different. Outside we do crit races, and these races are a maximum of 90 minutes. However, the cross country will be anywhere between 3 to 4 hours. So I mean, it's a different type of training, and going out to the US a couple weeks after that to start the US season, I mean, the training for me right now is fast and hard, and going into cross country is kind of a longer endurance race. So you have to find some type of way to get the right balance in between to ensure that you're ready for both. So we'll see how it goes.
When we return, City Council and Rotaract team up for Love Park upgrade.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
up for a smart share plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Special offer alert! Trade in your old device and active SIM and get a Samsung A04e for as low as $85, plus 50% off your Share One plan for the first 3 months. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. Now that's love! So this month, get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
This morning in Belize City, Mayor Bernard Wagner, Freetown Area Representative Francis Fonseca, and representatives of the Rotary and Rotaract clubs were present for the handing over of a playset at the Love Park in Belama Phase 1. A team of Rotarians and Rotaractors is in Belize from Canada and has been working closely with the municipal government to spruce up the recreational space in that constituency. News 5's Isani Cayetano has the following story.
This beautiful Love Park is a shining beacon of what we aspire to build, what we aspire to expand, what we aspire to replicate all across our city. Right now school is on, but by 4 o'clock this evening and as early as the sun rises tomorrow, this newly installed playset behind me will be loaded with lines of children waiting to live their best life. Parents will join, vendors will pass by, lifelong friendships will be nurtured, and the park's name will be fulfilled.
The handing over of a newly installed playset at Love Park, a child-friendly recreational space in Belama Phase 1, is the culmination of a joint effort between the Belize City Council, the Rotary Club of Belize, and its international counterparts. The playground is in the Freetown constituency, and Area Representative Francis Fonseca was on hand to deliver his remarks.
Community spaces like this one are critically important to the growth and development of our young people, our families, our communities. So it's always important for us to invest in these spaces and to do everything we can to continue to rehabilitate and upgrade them. It's a very, very important initiative. In my view, it's very much tied to the work we are doing at the Ministry of Education, which is about ensuring that our young people have every opportunity to lead successful lives, to develop life skills that will allow them to be productive members of the Belizean society.
The Rotaract Club of Belize City, led by Christy Sosa, has been instrumental in getting the project off the ground by reaching out to other members of the organization in Canada.
I must say it has been a wonderful and fulfilling experience to build this playground from scratch with my fellow Rotaractors and Rotarians. For those of you who may not know about Rotary International, it encompasses Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact clubs. These clubs provide services ranging from a local to an international scope and partner together to achieve a positive change in our communities. The Rotaract Club of Belize City is made up of young professionals ages 18 to 35 who network with community leaders, do community service projects, and of course, make new friends.
The Belize City Council, for its part, continues its work in building and maintaining these communal spaces.
Building cohesive and inclusive, safe spaces is very, very vital. Those healthy environments allow people to connect, recreate, to play, to exercise, to relax and unwind in this lovely March breeze. And guess what? Our parks and playgrounds form the center of these safe spaces.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
29 residents of Gales Point Village are now tour guides after they have successfully completed a 3-month course provided by the Belize Tourism Board. It was a rigorous course, according to Gales Point Chairman Jason Alshaft, but the majority of those who enrolled in the program finished it. And even before the new tour guides completed the training, there has been interest by a couple educational institutions to promote the uniqueness of Gales Point in the programs they offer. As you'll remember, Gales Point was embroiled in conflict with Vulcan Materials Company less than a year ago. The company was interested in conducting mining activities on the outskirts of the village, and many residents felt that it could have created irreversible damage to their environment. Chairman Alshaft shared with News 5 Today what the training does for Gales Point.
We had 3 months of going to school from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 o'clock in the evening. And it was very challenging because you had to change your life. Some people have fishing that they do in the evening, but we did it. After 3 months of hard work, everybody encouraged everybody to keep on doing it and helped cover people when we couldn't get there for the homework and things like that. But it was 3 very hard months of fantastic training by the BTB. This is this council's dream. We really want to not take anything from this village, but only give back. And basically through tourism, we can show somebody the manatees, the fish. We can show them that over and over and over again and make money on that. If we destroy that by some other line of making money, mining or something like that, it could cause a ripple effect through the whole community, and we would lose that huge part of tourism. But as it stands, Gales Point is completely pristine. When we study the fish, they haven't been disturbed here yet. We don't have any industry yet. So it'll be fantastic to start getting some of these schools and these students coming here and teaching us about our own environment. And we will be able to work hand in hand with that, with the tourism, so that our knowledge will increase and we'll be able to give travelers a better feel for Belize as a whole. Galen University was the first one to contact me. We have St. John's College coming to do a beans and rice cooking tour. The Galen also works with Belize University. Some of their senior students, they want to develop a program where they could come here and get hands-on training, not just school training. So, and again, our tour guides will be the ones that take them out. And then we also had a sponsor from one of the investors in the area called Matt Haskell. He's building Loggerhead Shores, and that's going to be the first major resort in the area to encourage all this tourism, give back to the village in people cleaning rooms, people doing tours, people cooking food. All these things will start to build now, and we're awfully excited about these opportunities that just seem to be coming in at the exact right time.
The Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management through the National Climate Change Office on Thursday signed a memorandum of agreement with the Agriculture and Natural Resources Institute in Stan Creek for the renovation and expansion of its model farm. Anri, as it is also known, is located some 4 miles off the road in Hope Creek Village, and the donation of $60,000 for renovations will see modifications made to its greenhouse structure, piggery, poultry, and hydroponics unit. The MOA is being described as a unique partnership to ensure climate resiliency and food security.
Basically, it's an agricultural school. Definitely this help that we're getting through the Ministry of the Sustainable Development will assist us in being able to provide another greenhouse as well as irrigation system, because we only at the moment have one well that provides us with all the water that is needed to run the school as well as to run all the agricultural plot. So definitely with this help that we're getting, all of that will be enhanced.
We have focused quite a bit on the agriculture side in
our efforts to bring back ANRI, so to speak, with a strong tradition from Lynham College. But we haven't really focused on the natural resources side, on the climate, resiliency and adaptation side. And so certainly these funds that we will be getting to ANRI will definitely be able to address those issues of climate resiliency, of making sure that our agriculture is developed in such a way that we address these issues that are important to us as a nation.
What it reflects is a partnership agreement between the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk, along with the Agricultural and Natural Resource Institute, ANRI. And it's within the framework of climate change and food security in Belize. It's a unique partnership because oftentimes these institutions are not part of the beneficiaries of these type of funding and financing. So we're looking at it as a unique partnership between the ministry and institutions like ANRI.
Well, I think the importance of the signing, it's what, in essence, we're looking at not only currently but futuristically. We keep discussing issues such as food security and actually having an impact on those who are the most vulnerable. For the most part, certain projects, certain initiatives, they tend to not benefit those who are the most vulnerable. However, with the Engender project under the ministry, right, we target those who will benefit the most, those who sometimes slip through the cracks, and we're all for capacity building. So I think by supporting ANRI through this initiative, it should help them to not only help them, but help the students in this instance, because it is quite vital for them to get the necessary resources to learn the proper way to manage a farm in this instance, or look at some new technologies as it relates to irrigation systems.
Up next, this week's Bright Side features a high school barber.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
On behalf of the Social Security Board, I extend our deepest gratitude for taking the opportunity offered to be a part of this amazing learning experience. Today, you graduate empowered with knowledge. You graduate with a new skill set that you can put to good use and benefit from it. You have now acquired the knowledge and you are fully prepared to build on the foundation that you have fostered.
We consider ourselves privileged to be offered an opportunity by the Belize Social Security Board to partner with them in this effort.
What I can say is that I'm happy because I'm learning in something that I choose to do.
So we want to thank Social Security Board to provide the funding for that, and we appreciate it, and we hope they continue to provide opportunities like this for more people. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations to the January 2023 cohort Empowering You participants. On behalf of the Social Security Board, I wish you nothing but the very best.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the Split the Bill button where he selects the Evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
Edward P. York High School is recognized for producing top-performing students in academics. But it's not every day that you hear of students running a business simultaneously. Sabrina Daly met one such student at his high school preparing for his future by establishing his business at 16. This week's Bright Side features the inspiring story of teenage businessman Javon Anderson.
On the Bright Side is brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
It's an ordinary day at Edward P. York High School. The third form industrial students are wrapping up a quiz, eager to grab lunch when the clock strikes at designated time. The ringing of the bell is a signal that they have an hour to themselves. But when everyone storms out, one student of 3I switches his hat from student to businessman. Javon Anderson walks out of class with his best friend at his side. During the lunch hour, however, Nelson Hill is his employee. It's an on-campus barbershop, and during this time, Javon is strictly business.
Initially for me, when he asked to do it, I was a little hesitant because it's not open market and, everybody wanting to do a business here. But for Javon, it started out as a need. And now he is using it to definitely save for the future, for his plans and all that.
He would come with his colleague, Nelson Hill. They will set up, they will sweep, they run jokes. And I think what I like about it is that even though they're in there to do a job, we still develop that rapport and building a relationship with him, and you get to know more about him. And so I have not had any issues with him other than being his timekeeper in terms of letting him not going over the required time that is allotted for him to trim.
His rates are like any other barber. He set his price for a basic trim at $7, but took it up to $10 recently because inflation. Javon's endeavor was born out of a need to cover his school expenses, including food and travel allowance. But after meeting his needs, Javon later realized that he had a unique advantage over his peers, one that would jumpstart his future as a businessman. And like many administrative staff, Vice Principal Renison Enriquez has also been in Javon's chair. He attests to his skill and spoke of the importance of teaching financial literacy within the school.
He does his academic work very well, and he's very skillful. He also trims me now and again too. So I must attest to his skill, right? And of course, that is developing his own business, entrepreneur, and that is also one of the things that is coming along with this new curriculum, and we will encourage those type of things with our students.
It's important for them to be able to start their credit union account, their bank account. Some of them, remember what we said earlier, come from low-income families. Some of them will have to pay for sixth form themselves.
And at 3 o'clock when school is over, barbering continues at home, where we met him with another customer. Javon told us what got him interested in this profession.
Before I even started cutting hair, I always wanted to find new ways to make money. So I would go to my uncle's house, maybe wash his car 1 or 2 times, go around in the neighborhood. I also sold fudge for a few weeks in 2020 when there was quarantine. And from the time that I started doing that, I knew that I wanted to do something pertaining to business, and this was one of my outlets to that.
Javon got his hands on his first clippers as an early Christmas gift from his grandfather. The first haircut was given to his best friend. That would be the start to Javon establishing a plan for his future.
My same assistant, his name is Nelson, he was the first person that I actually cut his hair.
Miss I never just say, so the first time he cut me by loan razor blade, and when he get the machine do a neat cut, and I start clean up for he after his cut stay, so he had time to eat here in the afternoon. And he made do a really nice job on my head, and he made give me a free cut. He made use the time, and I really appreciate it. So I encourage her to make it called that school so he can make a good amount of money.
It's not all the time that I make a lot of money, but when I do make a lot of money, I really look at it as just like a blessing, because God is the only one who can help all of us to do what we want in the future, and I feel like that is the main key. And me, I just get it as an opportunity to put up more, save more money, and have my money set for the week already.
So you're not thinking about, I'm going to buy the new iPhone when it come out or none of that?
Well, sometimes, you got a little thought in your head where say, man, I want to go buy this thing, but you have to have a strong mind whenever you're dealing with money, especially when you make a lot in a short space of time.
And Javon's mother is one of his biggest supporters, but he also acknowledges his grandmother to be his leading motivator.
I'm proud of you, you do a good job. I really appreciate how you handle your little nephew.
From a very early age, we have taught him how to save. And this venture that he went into, he had learned to save some money. And he explained to me that he needed a bank account to put the money in. So I told him, okay, let's go and open up a credit union account. And he was so excited. I believe that it was like $200 that he deposited to open the account. And he was so excited, and every chance he got, he saved amount of money, and then he deposited that money into his account.
My grandmother is the one who supports me through everything. Even though some people might not feel the same way about me, she's the one that always keeps me going, And even though I might not make a lot of money every day, I still try to, give her something and help her with whatever. And she always advises me, she helps me save my money. She's just like she's my everything.
So what's next for the young businessman? Javon shared with us his intentions to establish himself as a certified barber as soon as he can. He also hopes to open several barbershop chains in the future and still intends to continue school. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
On the Bright Side was brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
That's the sound of fuel efficiency. Every day, every time, I choose Uno Fuels powered with Dynamax. Uno, a brand committed with the future.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Annalyn Apollonia. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.